Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. I'm Sally from Sally Stampers, and today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little project, which is a box that holds a Yankee candle melt. I think these are perfect little gifts that you could hang on your tree. You just need to add some ribbon or some twine through the top there, or they'd be perfect on a table as little gifts for guests that are coming for dinner, maybe Christmas or the run up to Christmas. Or maybe even not just for Christmas, you could do them any time of the day, but I'm going to show you how to make these. So normally you will notice that I say you need a piece of cardstock that's measured this and this, but I decided today that I was actually going to cut my cardstock on camera just so that you can see our beautiful Stampin trimmer. It is so good. There's a scoring tool, there's the cutting, there's a lock on the top so that it stops this from moving. There's an arm that comes out, so you've got the full size. It's just beautiful. I love it. So you need a piece of cardstock that measures 5 inches by 7 3/4. So obviously I will need my extra arm bit here to cut 7 3/4. And again, did you notice with my wonderful cut here? Go down one way, up another, so you get double use out of it. Beautiful. So, piece of cardstock, 5 by 7 3/4 inches. Then we need the scoring board. So we're going to start off with the 5 inches across the top, and we're going to start by scoring at 1/2 inch, then 1 1/4, then 3 3/4, and 4 1/2. Rotate and score at 2 1/4 inches, 3 inches, 5 1/2 inches, and 6 1/4. And that's the scoring done. Okay, move that out of the way. As you know, we then come in to do our folding and burnishing of all our score lines. This card I'm using today is Mint Macaron, which is one of the coordinating colours that goes with the DSP and stamp set and framelits that I have used on the original box, which is Presents and Pinecones, and it is my absolute favourite. The DSP, the sentiments, in fact they're Thinlits, sorry, not framelits, but the Thinlits, I just love it. It's my favourite one. So now we've done our folding and burnishing, we're now going to do our cutting. So if you have, you'll notice that you have, just to make sure you're all in camera here, let me zoom out a little. I'll have to apologise for the mess on my desk. Okay, so we've got 3 relatively largish squares, certainly 2 bigger ones here. So this one will be your base, and these 2 are the flaps for the lid. Okay, so with your base you will have your sides, your tabs, and these are what I call the shoulders that will fold in over the top. So I'm going to show you what you need to cut away. So to start off with, we just cut the shoulder, which is there, and cut away these tabs here. Sorry, not these tabs, these extra pieces here, which is a long skinny and a short skinny. I'm sure they have coffees have made something similar to that. So long skinny, short skinny, and last one. Okay, so then we need to cut our tabs. So either side of the small squares, all the way around, and on the other side. And once you've done that, you then cut away this long one at the side. It does look a bit of a long-winded way, and you will be able to cut more as you go, but I just found that this was the easiest way to show you what you needed to cut away so that you don't cut the wrong bits. Okay, so those are all the bits you've cut away. So that's what you're left with. Now your squares are your tabs, so you need to cut away just your wedges on each one, which again you could have done earlier when you were cutting, but like I said, I just wanted to make sure that you cut the right pieces and didn't cut away bits that you need, which I've done numerous times and is extremely frustrating. Okay, right, that's that bit done. So the next thing to do is to put your DSP on, which I've actually not got to hand, so give me just a second. Okay, so you wouldn't believe me if I said that I did have this organised. Okay, so I've gone with the same DSP simply because of the colours that are in there. That obviously still has the mint macaron, the emerald envy, so I'm going to go with this one again. So bringing out that magical super trimmer again, I am going to need 4 small strips to put on the sides. So they will need to measure, and I did actually do this wrong last time, don't know why. They need to measure 1/2 inch. So if you notice on the trimmer, if you can see, I'll bring it a bit closer, if you can see just here, it actually has some measurements that go that way as well. So you're not trying to fiddle around and hold bits of paper still, which is really good. Now I want to make sure that these bows sit on the middle of my card. So I'm actually going to trim a little bit off first so that I know I've got the bows in the middle. They need to be 2 2¼ inches wide. So we're going to go to the 2¼ cut that strip off. So I do apologise, noisy diggers going past. So I need 4 strips of okay, brain's gone now. 4 strips that are 1/2 inch by 2¼ and mine's completely just moved, look now, so let's trim that. Okay, and then we need 1 that is going to sit across the lid here. So again, 2¼ which we've got, and then it needs to be by 2 inches. I think that's right. Now, clearly I'm having one of those days today. Yes, wonderful. Right, so right, let's get a doing these on. So I'm going to grab my snail and I'm going to pop this one on first, which is on the larger of the 2 ends. So pop that one on. Now what you need to remember is this is going to be your base, so your paper needs to be facing, if it's got pattern, towards the base. So stick these on. I'm going to do it relatively quickly because I know I have delayed things now by messing up my DSP cutting. I do apologise. So stick these on. Yours will be obviously a lot better than this because you will have taken time and I have things pre-cut ready. Okay, so sorry, while we've got it this way up, let's adhere our fast fuse. So when you are adhering these little tabs, hold on to it with your finger because you can, when you're flicking your fast fuse, you may rip or tear them, and obviously that is going to ruin your box, which you don't want. So let's fold these tabs in, and there we go, dun, dun, dun. We've got it. Right, box made. So shoulders in, bottom in, top in. Perfect. That does look a little bit wonky, but I'm not too bothered because at the end of the day I'm showing you how to make it, and this one did look better. So let's put our wax melt in. Another candy cane lane one. I just love these. So pop that in, shoulders in, done. Now you will notice on mine that I have little magnets. These are 7mm diameter, these magnets. They're ever so thin. I think they may even be 1mm thin or thick. Just off the lovely eBay. So I'm going to grab my glue dots. So stick the first one on there, and it will just go on the inside of the lid. Then, to make sure you don't get opposites when you've put it down, because that clearly wouldn't work, drop it on the top so that it sticks to the other magnet. Then you know you've got it the right way. We'll adhere another glue dot to the back, and then press it down, making sure you've got your box square on. Press it down, and then when you open it, they will have both stuck. Give it an extra press just to make sure that it's stuck, and there we have it. So that's your basic box. Obviously, if you were going to add a little tie of ribbon or twine, you would do all of this before you glued it up. I haven't on this one because I quite like it the way it is, to be honest. So now we're going to decorate it. I'm going to do it very simple and very similar to this one. So to start off with, we'll do the sentiment. So I'm just going to grab some Whisper White. And I'm going to grab my Delightful Dijon, which again is the colour that's in there. And then using the coordinating Christmas pines. I just love this so much. I love how these pine cones come out when you do the double stamping. I will show you that another day. But so I'm going to use Christmas pines, and I've already put my sentiment onto my block, which is a C block. So I'm just going to ink it up. There we go. So that's that bit done. Get that out of the way. So the next thing is to cut it out. Now you will have noticed I've used the Stitched Shapes framelits. I have to get that right because it's quite a mouthful. So just for you on another day, again, I'm bringing in my big shot. So all you need is your magnetic platform for this one. Pop your sentiment and your Whisper White on there, and then you just need to grab whatever shape you want. We've got circles and ovals, and also the squares. Sorry, that was off camera. Squares, circles and ovals, and I'm going for the second largest oval. So I'm going to pop that on there, make sure it's just in camera shot. I do apologise for getting my head in there, just while I line it up. Okay, plate on top, just like a sandwich. And beautiful. I don't know if you can make out the, there we go. It's just so cute. So I'm going to pop that off to one side, because while I've got the big shot out, I'm actually going to do my little flowery bits, which again is the Christmas pines, coordinating Thinlits, which are the pretty pines. There's lots in there. I've dug mine out already, so I'm going to use some of the mint macaron, and I'm just going to run this through a couple of times. Obviously you can use whichever of the Thinlits you like. So pop that one out. Okay, I've got so much stuff on my desk now I can't find my pokey tool that I dropped. I told you I was having one of those days today. Oh, okay. So we'll just get that one out of there, put it to one side, and we'll just do the second one. I hope that you're all enjoying this video today, as I seem to be just doing everything wrong. It's usually good to show, and I do apologise for all the clanking and everything that goes on when I go through this, because I do actually have quite a lot of stuff on my desk that seems to have a habit of rattling when I use my big shot. Okay, that one's not cut through very well there for some reason, so I'm just going to cut that bit off there. Because with it being a straight line, and it will be hidden behind the sentiment, I'm just going to cut it out. There we go. So that's that one done. And then I need, I am organised usually. It's just that I obviously don't have a lot of room on my desk, so everything's all cramped up. So we're going to run this one through on the Emerald Envy, just simply because I've used mint macaron on the card base. I thought that potentially if I just did mint macaron it wouldn't stand out so well, and I felt it just needed something behind it as a bit of an emphasis. So obviously using the Emerald Envy, which is a coordinating colour, it would work quite well. Okay, so thankfully that's those done. Out of the way. So as I said, just a little pokey tool through that hole and just ease it out. We obviously do have a die brush as well. I don't get anything else out on my desk, or you just end up having clutter everywhere. So last but not least is the bow. Now there are two sizes of the bow. I'm using the smaller of the two, and I'm using Cherry Cobbler to die cut that one out with. So let's have that. And this does occasionally happen where they stick to your plates. So let's just get this out of the way and back to having some room. Okay, so we have 4 of these lovely little things. We have our bow and we have our sentiment. We're getting to the end, guys, don't worry. So we just need a couple of dimensionals on the back of the sentiment, and I've then added a couple of glue dots just above it, one either side, and then before I take the backing off the dimensionals, I'm going to stick these little branches on and adhere them to the glue dot. Because I think sometimes if you try and adhere them to the dimensionals, you're going to lose obviously surface area for it sticking to your box or your bag or whatever it is you're making. And as you can see, that bit that I cut where it's stuck and didn't die cut properly, you can't even see it now. So I'm going to pop that on there, and again that wonky edge, you can't see that either now. And then just to put my bow on, what I actually do with this one is, if you can see, this light's terrible, there we go. So don't pick your glue dot up completely, but fold it in half and then fold it again. So you've actually got just a little clump of it, if you like. Pop it onto the bow, back of the bow, trying to get your pokey tool off, and you just pop it on the bottom. And then to finish mine off, I've just added one of the medium-sized rhinestones, because everybody has to have bling. Okay, a little bit longer than expected, but those are my projects. I hope you've enjoyed it. All the dimensions and details will be on my blog, the link of which is below. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.